Welcome to a new season of Spiritual Musings of a Popcorn Brain. I have in this episode an interview that I had done with a friend, and it was right before Spotify changed my platform, and I wasn't able to get it out with the previous episodes that I was doing. But I think this is a good transition because it's a good story. I didn't want to drop it, but it's not exactly the same kind of story as the ones I had been telling. And what I'm going to be sharing in the future is going to be much more in line with my popcorn brain. So I hope you enjoy this story and that you're blessed by it. So today I am with my friend LaDonna, and she is a church friend, and she has a story to share of something that God did in her life recently and how he opened her eyes to deeper understanding.
So my story begins just very short, 2.5 months ago when I got very sick. And my husband just jumped to he jumped whatever I needed, he was there. God opened my eyes to a deeper, a deeper meaning in him, just his soul. Um, it was such an awakening. And the love that I had for him just was huge. And I shared with him many of those things that he was just in awe. So that was such a glorious time to sit with him, and he would share with me, and it was just like, I know this man, and I've been married almost 50 years, but now I really know this man and his heart. And if we just, I don't know that we can look for it and find it ourselves. I think God shows us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, just to give people an understanding, because I have heard the background story, if you could kind of tell them the story that leads up to when and how he rescued you.
Okay, it's a good word, rescue, because he did rescue me. I was on a trip, a short trip, and all of a sudden I became extremely ill, not knowing what's going on. I pulled over to find a place to sleep, and I called him and I said, something's wrong. And he flew where I was, got a ride to the hotel where I was, packed my bags in my car, and we drove home. He rescued me. I had double pneumonia. I had bacterial pneumonia. I had other stuff going on, and my body was just a mess. This man um, took me in his arms, so to speak, figuratively, but and I look at him differently now, and
Mhm.
he did indeed rescue me.
Mhm. Yeah, because I think when you told me about it, you were having some issues. Somehow the pneumonia was affecting your ability to think and do simple things for yourself. I
Right,
mean, you were really needing y- basic help.
just for thinking. You're right. I mean, I couldn't process how to order a meal.
Hmm.
I couldn't think about what to do. So there was something going on in my body for sure. And he just came to my rescue. Got on a plane to Texarkana, got to the hotel, picked me up, and swooped me off and just took care of me. And it was just such an amazing, loving thing
Hmm.
that he didn't think about it. He's like, I'm on my way.
Hmm.
So yeah.
So is that one of his strengths, I guess, is knowing how to solve those problems, or was it what? How did you see him, or was it his love for you? What do you think drove him and his ability to do what you needed so well at this time?
Well, I do think it's his deep love for me. I know that. I guess I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know the depths of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, he's a problem solver. He's a retired engineer.
Okay.
He's just going to figure out, I've got to do this, and he'll do
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, he did that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because you were a few hours away
I
from
was.
home by drive,
I
because
think
you were driving somewhere.
I was driving to Tennessee.
Okay.
So I had just gotten over the Texas line.
Okay.
So I thought I was in Texarkana. I think I was, perhaps, I don't even remember.
Right.
I was in some town,
Sure.
and I gave him the hotel name, and he just got a flight, flew into Texarkana, got a car, and came and got me.
Okay. Wow.
So he figured all of that out because he is a problem solver
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I mean, do you mind sharing some of those things that God opened your eyes about him, or are they too intimate? Or any that aren't too intimate that you wouldn't mind sharing?
I don't think it's intimate. It was spiritual.
Okay.
So, well, that is intimate, I
Yeah.
guess, right? It was a spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
It was that he opened my heart uh, through my spirit. And I just saw him as he was going through all of those steps, and we're driving, and he's taking me to an ER close. He took me to an ER because I said I can't make it. There's something going on. So we stopped at a hotel or an ER hospital. They diagnosed me, and then they said, "You can stay here and we'll admit you, but you're only an hour and a half from home."
Okay.
So I said, "Okay, let's go home." So he drove, and I was still just messed up inside,
Mm-hmm.
but he got me to an ER.
Mm-hmm.
And I still saw this man that seemed not human. God let me see this man in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I mean. He awakened my heart to see my husband's heart,
Oh.
which is such an amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just, I don't know. That is beautiful. I'm blessed that I have a husband who talks and shares. In fact, he shares more than I do. But I know for a lot of women, their husband doesn't necessarily share or talk. And so to get that deeper
Mm.
understanding can be difficult for them. And there's a longing for
Right.
that.
And
So,
I shared that with him, which opened his eyes and like, wow. And I think it fed his spirit.
hmm.
And he was raised a Christian, but he doesn't profess that now.
Okay.
So I think that was God's way of showing him that that spiritual awakening in my heart I shared with him, which gave him this sense of awe. Like, you love me this much. So
Oh,
it was pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
I think that's God's way of continuing to open his eyes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So the what God did in your life, I'm just trying to define this a little better because for me it's still kind of abstract and I don't do as well with abstract.
Okay.
So um he opened your eyes to a deeper understanding of certain characteristics in your husband that you either didn't know or had forgotten were there.
I think I've always known that. We've been married a long time, but in the busyness of life, we forget and we get caught up in what's going on around us.
Hmm.
And God allowed me to see that part of him again.
Okay.
Because I think when we were young, I saw that.
Hmm.
And then throughout the years, it's been a long time.
Hmm.
Um, I think we forget that. And God gave me that gift to see him that way again. And now I think I can just pray, let me see that in my husband because
Oh,
he's an amazing man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was very nice when I met him.
Yeah.
I don't know him at all, really.
Right. And
So,
everybody that meets Jerry loves him. He just
hmm.
has that effect on people.
Hmm.
He's kind and generous and he'll do anything for you. And hence,
Hmm.
I'm going to come and get you and I'll take care of you.
Oh,
So,
and you felt treasured then too.
oh, what a word, what a wonderful word. Not only cherished, but he was my world at that time.
Hmm.
And God let me see that. That's all I need.
Hmm.
I don't need to go out and do this or, I don't need those things. I've got the
Hmm.
man who truly loves me.
Yeah. What a blessing.
Yeah. So deeply.
Hmm.
Um, and I thank God for showing me that because it was through God, because I was in prayer all the time.
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm going to do. God, get me through this. Help me. He
Hmm.
did.
Hmm. He did
He
through
did.
your husband.
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah.
So, did your husband like the idea of being an answer to prayer? Or was that too strange?
I think he embraced it, and then he's very humble. So then it's sort of like, okay, let me put that down. So I think I saw his face when I shared. That's something that we have. The way we shared was not how we usually share. So it was really different.
Mhm.
So I could see him embrace it, but then I also could see him go, okay, you know,
Mhm.
because yeah, like I said, he's just a very humble
Mhm.
person.
Yeah. Yeah. That can be a little intense.
Intense, yes. I'm not sure what was going on inside of him, but it's like, it's probably he's a man and he's an engineer and he's a black and white thinker.
Mhm.
So it's okay. That's what I do for you because I love you. It
Mhm.
was no big deal, sort of how he would see
Yeah, I've joked before I could have been an engineer if it weren't for the math,
it.
because I don't get calculus at all.
Yep.
Um, Algebra I love. Calculus,
Ugh.
no.
See, in algebra, I couldn't do, but calculus I could do.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
funny.
weird? But I only needed to do that in my doc program, so it didn't really matter as long as I got through it. But yeah,
But yeah, no, okay. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
you're welcome. I wish I could share the love my husband has for me because that's who he has for everybody.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, but you hold that special place, which is why he married you.
Yeah. And it feels really good right now.
Mhm.
Just talking about it, it just feels really good.
Good,
Yeah. You're
good.
welcome.
Well, praise God. All
And
right.
amen.
I just love that story and how she came to understand what a blessing her husband is, and how God showed her how he loves her through her husband, even though he's not yet a believer. So I hope that you were blessed and encouraged by that, and I hope to put out more episodes here shortly. I've got so many things popping around in my brain, and I hope you come back and join me next time on Spiritual Musings of a Popcorn Brain.